Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello students, this is Hamza Noor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve 9709 A-Level Mathematics, October-November 2021, Paper 3, Variant 2, Pure Mathematics 3. First of all, we have question number 1. This is worth 4 marks. The topic is log and exponential. So find the value of x for which 3 multiplied by 2 raised to the power 1 minus x is equals to 7 raised to the power x. Give your answer in the form ln a over ln b, where a and b are integers. So first of all, what we can do is make this equation easy for ourselves to comprehend. 3 multiplied by 2 raised to the power 1 minus x. So according to the laws of indices, in place of 2 raised to the power 1 minus x, what I can write is 2 raised to the power 1 divided by 2 raised to the power x, and this whole thing is equals to 7. So as we can see, 3 is multiplied by 2 raised to the power 1, which means 6. 6 is equals to 2 raised to the power x is equals to 7 raised to the power x. So 6 is equals to 2 raised to the power x multiplied by 7 raised to the power x. Now, according to the laws of indices, what we know is that b whole thing raised to the power m, this can be rewritten like this as well: a raised to the power m multiplied by b raised to the power m. So 2 raised to the power x multiplied by 7 raised to the power x. In place of this, we can write 2 multiplied by 7 whole thing is raised to the power x, which means that 6 is equals to 14 raised to the power x. Now what we need to do is just solve this equation. 14 raised to the power x is equals to 6. Now, in order to find the value of x, in order to make x the subject of the equation, obviously, what you need to do is introduce ln on both sides. Because if you don't do so, you won't be able to make x the subject of the equation, and you won't be able to find the value of x. So you have to introduce ln on both sides. So ln 14 raised to the power x is equals to ln 6. Now, according to the power law, this x will be multiplied over here, and x ln 14 will be equals to ln 6. Therefore, x is equals to ln 6 divided by ln 14, and this is your final answer in the form of ln a over ln b. Therefore, a is equals to 6 and b is equals to 14. This was question number 1. Then we have question number 2, and this is from the topic modulus, equations and inequalities. In this case, we have inequalities. Solve the inequality mod of 3x minus a is greater than 2 times mod of x plus 2a. So as we can see that the case over here is that in which you have mod function on both sides of the inequality. So in order to solve this, what you will do is take whole square on both sides. Whole square will be taken on both sides. So 3x minus a, the whole thing is square, is greater than 2 square multiplied by x plus 2a, the whole thing is square. Okay, so now what we can do over here is instead of completely expanding both the sides, my approach is that instead of completely expanding both sides and then solving the quadratic inequality, I mean that is also acceptable, but my approach is a little bit different over here. First of all, what we can do is 3x minus a, the whole thing is square, is greater than, what I can do is take this 2 inside, and since 2 also has a square, so 2 will be multiplied inside, so this will be 2x plus 4a, the whole thing is square. Now, instead of completely expanding both sides of the inequality, what I can do is I can rewrite this inequality in this form: 3x minus a the whole thing square minus 2x plus 4a the whole thing square is greater than 0. Now, as you can see, this is an exact form of a square minus b square. Okay, now since a is already occupied, let's say it is the form of c square minus d square. And when c square minus d square is factorized, it will give you c plus d multiplied by c minus d. So c is 3x minus a and d is 2x plus 4a. I mean, you don't need to mention these steps just to make things easier for you to understand. So this is exactly the form of c square minus d square. When this is factorized, you will get c plus d multiplied by c minus d. So first of all, I'm going to write c plus d. So this will be 3x minus a plus 2x plus 4a and then multiplied by c minus d. Now I'm going to write c minus d. Okay, so c minus d would be 3x minus a minus 2x minus 4a, and this whole thing is greater than 0. And as I said, you don't need to mention these steps. This is quite obvious. Okay, and this whole thing is greater than 0. Now what you can do is simplify these two factors. Okay, so 3x plus 2x would be 5x. So this is 5x, and then 4a minus a is 3a. So 5x plus 3a multiplied by 3x minus 2x is x, and minus a minus 4a is minus 5a, and this whole thing is greater than 0. Now the thing is that this is like the factorized form of a quadratic inequality. So instead of completely expanding the both sides, you can do it in this simpler way. Much easier approach, much effective approach. Now, whenever you solve the quadratic inequality, so the first step you take is to find the critical values. Since a is unknown over here, so obviously the critical values will come in terms of a. So what I'm going to do is just forget this sign of inequality and equate these factors to 0. So when 5x plus 3a is equated to 0, so 5x is equals to minus 3a. 5x equals minus 3a, therefore x equals minus 3a over 5. X equals minus 3a over 5. And x minus 5a is equals to 0. Therefore, x is equals to 5a. These are the two critical values of x. So we need to make a sketch of the quadratic graph. And a is a positive constant itself. Okay, so x is equals to 5a and x is equals to minus 3a over 5. The critical values are in terms of a. And as we can see that if we multiply 5x with x, what we will get 5x square. So the coefficient of x square would be greater than 0. This means that it is a u-shaped quadratic graph, minimum turning point quadratic graph. And as we can see that the inequality is greater than 0. So the region above the x-axis will be shaded. So the region which is between the x-axis and the quadratic graph will be shaded. And therefore, according to this shading, what we can say is that x is greater than 5a or x is lesser than minus 3a over 5. And since we are dealing with a case of mod such that we have modulus function on both sides, we don't need to check the validity of the roots. Here you don't need to check which root is valid or which root is invalid. Both of the roots would be valid in this case. Okay, so for example, in a modulus equation, in such cases when you have mod function on both sides and you are getting only one root, so obviously the other root would have been cancelled out. I mean, the value of x, I mean the x variable would be cancelled out over there. So whenever in this case, when you have mod function on both sides of the equation or the inequality, and when two roots are coming, okay, so both of them are valid, you don't need to check the validity of the roots in this case. So this was question number 2.